Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're tackling something that might surprise you: hospital playrooms. You know, those bright, cheerful spaces designed to comfort kids during some of their toughest days. But what if I told you these safe havens can actually harbor some pretty serious hidden dangers?
Yeah, it's one of those things that really catches people off guard. I mean, we think of hospital playrooms as these protective spaces, but the reality is they can pose infection risks, physical hazards, and even chemical exposures that put vulnerable children at risk.
Let's start with the infection piece, because that's probably the most alarming. What's going on with the toys in these playrooms?
So here's the thing. Studies have found that up to 84% of toys in hospital playrooms can be contaminated with various microbes. The most frequently found is actually Sphingomonas possumobilis. But we also see bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and Acinetobacter baumannii, though typically at lower levels.
84%? That's almost everything in the room. Why is contamination so high?
Right, exactly. There are a few reasons. Kids are constantly touching toys and surfaces, and let's be honest, children put things in their mouths. They're not exactly known for stellar hand hygiene awareness, but honestly, the bigger issue is that cleaning protocols for toys in healthcare settings are often overlooked or inconsistent.
So, what should administrators and child life specialists actually be doing? What materials are safest for these environments?
Great question. Toys should be made from easy-to-clean materials. Think plastic, vinyl, metal, or finished wood. Anything non-porous that can withstand rigorous mechanical cleaning. You really want to avoid plush or soft toys and anything that can retain water because those just can't be properly disinfected. I mean, I once saw a stuffed teddy bear in a playroom that looked like it had been through a war zone. You could practically see the bacteria waving hello.
Ha! That's a mental image I didn't need. And what about the actual cleaning schedule? How often should these toys be disinfected?
Daily for stationary toys that are in regular use. Movable toys need to be cleaned and disinfected after each use, or whenever they're visibly soiled. Large stationary items should get cleaned at least weekly. And if a toy's been used by a patient in isolation or someone with a communicable disease, it has to be disinfected between each patient use. No exceptions.
That's critical.
Exactly. The frequency of cleaning really can't be compromised. I mean, we're talking about cleaning daily at minimum, but really the more frequent, the better for high-touch items.
That point about cleaning frequency really sets up our next piece: how we handle the most vulnerable kids. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is brought to you by Little People's Cove. We provide commercial grade furniture and toys designed specifically for pediatric clinics, libraries, daycares, and classrooms. Our products meet or exceed ASTM and CSIA safety standards, feature wipe clean finishes, and support motor skills and creative play. Shop commercial quality toys and furnishings at www.littlepeoplescove.com.
Picking up on that cleaning frequency point, how do you handle toys for immunocompromised patients specifically?
For immunocompromised patients, the protocols get really strict. Ideally, toys should be single patient use, meaning the child keeps the toy or it's discarded after. If toys are shared, they must be thoroughly cleaned with hospital-approved disinfectants after every single use. I actually worked with a bone marrow transplant unit a few years back, and they required all toys to be brand new and disinfected before the patient even touched them. It was eye-opening to see how careful everyone had to be.
Wow! And what about toys kids bring from home? I imagine families want to bring comfort items.
They do, definitely. Those toys need to be cleaned with hospital-approved disinfectants before they're allowed in, and again after each use. There's a balance between comfort and safety, but the policies have to be really clear about who cleans what, when, and how.
Okay, so we've covered infection control pretty thoroughly. But you mentioned physical hazards earlier. What should facility designers be thinking about when they're setting up these playrooms?
Yeah, physical safety is huge. Unsecured furniture is a major concern. Anything that can tip over needs to be anchored. Then you've got entrapment risks from small openings or gaps where a child's head or limbs could get stuck. Tripping hazards are common, and there needs to be proper surfacing under play equipment to cushion any falls.
What about the furniture itself? What materials should hospitals be choosing?
Furniture should be made from solid wood or sturdy plywood rather than particle board or brittle plastic. You want smooth, rounded edges and a low center of gravity. Chairs need to be stable enough to support active movement without tipping over easily. And this is important. All paints and finishes should be non-toxic and independently tested.
Right, I see. Are there specific standards people should be looking for?
Absolutely. Look for compliance with ASTM F27 for furniture to prevent tip-overs and ASTM F963 for toy safety. CPSIA standards cover things like lead content in paint and small parts that could be choking hazards. Furniture should be the right height so a child's feet rest flat on the floor and elbows bend at a comfortable angle. That means both safety and proper ergonomics.
And then there's the chemical exposure piece, right? That's something I think a lot of people don't even consider.
Yeah, it's often overlooked. Certain unsuitable play mats can be a concern. Some foam products have raised questions about chemicals. When you're selecting materials for a hospital playroom, everything needs to be free from harmful substances. We're talking about kids with developing immune systems and various health conditions, so there's just no room for toxic materials.
Have you ever thought about what's really in the playrooms where your kids wait during appointments? So, to everyone listening who works in pediatric healthcare facilities, what's the one thing you'd want them to walk away remembering from this conversation?
I'd say this. Hospital playrooms support children's psychological well-being during really difficult times, but only if we get the safety piece right. That means establishing clear policies for frequent disinfection, choosing materials carefully, ensuring constant adult supervision, and designing spaces that minimize both infection and physical risks. These spaces can be both comforting and safe. We just have to be intentional about them.
Next time you walk into a hospital playroom, you'll probably see it differently. Thanks so much for breaking all this down with us today.
My pleasure. These conversations matter because the kids in these spaces matter.